Jeezy speaks on street credibility and Freddie Gibbs. Let's get into the clip.
Record street cred too.
Yeah.
And you say, they lost your street cred.
Right.
They say you lost your street cred, so what, man? And I'm glad that somebody like you who's glorified the streets for so long,
Right.
You've gotten to the age where you like, you know what, street cred not important. Like,
Nah.
Do you remember the first time you realized that, you came to that realization?
Oh, man. I really think that when you start walking in those rooms and you try and do business, nobody really care about what you've done on the streets, you know what I'm saying? And then as a man, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't care about, because what people think about me ain't none of my spiritual business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not. But for me, it's just like, I don't need validation by what you consider to be real for me to be a real man. Like, let's take the rap and the artist and everything out of that. And a lot of the things I did because I was trying to get validation. I want people to know like, I'm about my issue. I'm gonna do this and that. And the last time I got locked up in L.A., when that incident happened in the Bay, like that's when I was really like, man, you got the world, like you successful, you on tour, you doing 30,000 people a night, and you in jail for what? You know what I mean? I remember everybody calling like, yeah, man, woo, like like it's a real thing, and I'm sitting there going like, about to throw my whole career away because I'm trying to live by a stereotype and a code. You know what I'm saying? And if I do go to prison, ain't none of these people finna send me no money. They ain't finna write me. They ain't gonna look out for my kids.
Right.
Come on, I watched it.
Yeah, they gonna call you.
It's funny.
Also, I want to go back to the street cred record because you said something about, the stereotypical things that they think a man should be.
Right.
I find that everything that they tell us they want us to do to be real always is something criminal. You got to do something criminal.
I agree. You got to die.
Yeah.
You got to go to jail.
Or kill somebody.
You got to do 10 years, don't tell on nobody. Like all that. I mean, look, man, to each his own. I mean, I just always believe in integrity, values, and morals. I have that, and I can't speak for another man. They ain't my place, but it's just like, I'll be damned if I did all this to get out of that, to do that again. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's just almost like, becoming a millionaire, living beyond your wildest dreams and just going to spend and give all your money away to be back in that same position. It just doesn't make logical sense. Mm-hmm. You're doing this to get out of your environment, to put people on, and then you're getting caught up in the stereotype of, but I still gotta be a real one. And then you go out here and you put yourself in prison and ain't nobody looking out for you. You go out here and you get killed and ain't nobody taking care of your kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And everybody I seen try to keep it real. Look what happened. Look what happened to Dolph. Look what happened to Nip. Look what happened to Bankroll. Look what happened to Doe B. Mm-hmm. Look what happened to B&D. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's all because of that. I'm going to be real with them. You got to be real with yourself, man. You know what I mean? That's one thing about it, but I ain't living for nobody but me and mine. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. You in your deathbed, you sick right now. The people that really rock with you and love you, they going to be there, bro.
Do you feel like you got a responsibility being that, you were the mouthpiece for the streets for so long?
Right.
Probably encouraged a lot of brothers to do the wrong thing. Do you feel like you have an obligation to, encourage them to do the right thing now?
Well, I always felt like what I was doing was right because I was always talking about motivating the thugs. Mm-hmm. I told them when I came in the game that I was corporate thugging. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm doing. You see it, corporate thugging. You see it, the cognac, the water. Shout out to Nas, shout out to Defiance Fuel. But I think that my position in this, people always ask me what's your position, what's the Mount Rushmore. My position in this game is just to continue to lead by example because I'm one of the very few that did what I said, and everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that I put in my work. Mm-hmm. But I continue to evolve without having to have any type of validation. So for me, it's just like the more that I can evolve and grow and show people like you can do this and still be who you are, that's my responsibility because it's almost like, well, she gonna go if you coming from the street and you rapping. You supposed to just stay there. Right. You know what I'm saying? 10, 15 years in it, you still thugging. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's almost like, nah, you go out, you can own a company, you can buy a business, you can buy real estate, you can still look like this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You don't gotta change up who you are just to do what you do. So I feel like that's more so my responsibility than anything because it's almost like I opened the door for them. I was Mr. Trap or Die. I didn't close the door when I came in. I didn't lock the door. Most of these cats that you see are really coming from the streets. But if you ask them who they saw do it first, it would have to be me. Who else came from where I came from that you saw in real time and got to where they at? So at the end of the day, I do have a responsibility to keep, that's why you don't see my name in no bullshit. I'm grown as hell. I ain't about to be in no blogs. I ain't about to be, you know what I mean? I ain't about to be in the wrong spots. Because I'm a man first.
And your philanthropy, you did the snowball.
The snowball, yeah. Shout out to everybody who raised almost $500,000.
And Freddie Gibbs, he took accountability for the issues that you guys had, and y'all actually ran into each other. What was that like for you?
I mean, it was the way I look at it. Like, if I got an issue or I feel a way about something, I'm gonna feel it. You know what I'm saying? Not even the emotional part. But when I seen him, it was just like, it was love, because I never really had a problem with Gibbs.
You always said that.
Yeah, I always told him, bro, like, you're going to be big. You know what I'm saying? Minus me. You know what I mean? I don't want to hold you back. But I just think at times when we want that instant gratification, we don't understand, like, this thing takes time, for you to be great and you to come into your own. So when I saw him, it was just more like, I'm glad to see you moving. I'm glad to see you coming into your own. I'm hearing the music. I'm seeing what you're doing. That's what's up. I told you. And we just dapped it up and chopped it up for a minute, exchanged numbers. And it was love. And it's just like, when you really go back and look at it, that process had to happen. But I just think, like I said before, just like when you have trauma and you coming from situations and you really don't know how to communicate, it's always going to be that when it comes to what expectations are. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, a lot of the incidents I ever had in music or in business is because there was poor communication.
Right.
And I feel like if we would have hopped on the phone and chopped it up way earlier, he told me how he felt, I told him how I felt, and we can agree to disagree, and it'd be like, all right, cool, well, we can still get money and still do music and keep this to ourselves. I felt like that would have been the way, but I think we both kind of walked away from this like, he's a better artist person, and I have a better understanding for, dealing with artists and people now. Just like, you gotta let people have the room to feel how they feel.
Yeah, it always seemed like he took it personal, but for you, it was just all business, because all you ever said was Freddie was just upset because he didn't pop with you. He didn't pop off.
Right. And the thing was, everything ain't the right mix, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything, everything don't just go together. So sometimes you gotta try something different. So I didn't feel no way about that. I wanted him to be successful. You know what I'm saying? And just like, that didn't work, but the YG thing did. You know what I'm saying? So it's just how it works. But at the end of the day, I just feel like that was what was supposed to happen for him. He sees that now. You know what I'm saying? But I hope that he understands going forward, because I had that happen with me with Nas, when the hip hop was dead thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I flipped out because I thought he talking about me. I'm like, hold up, man. Because I'm winning now. You talking about hip hop dead. It's a whole conversation. So when I said what I said on the radio, and, I was spazzing and flipping out, you know what I'm saying? Because I could have called him. He called me. Hey, King, I can understand your frustration. But let me just tell you, my perspective. And when he explained it to me, calm and cool and collective, I'm like, damn.
All right.
Right. So that just made me think. So when Gibbs called me with I'm just like, bro, we just got to sit down and get in the same room so we can figure this out. That was my thing. So that's why I never took it personally. Right.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.